In this world, we are born to parents whom have souls that we are tied to for some reason. For a time, but throughout lifetimes. And we find friends who also have a similar vibration to us. We get something back by seeing our soul reflected in theirs and feeling ourself understood by them. When we have friends, when we find loved ones, when we find loves, there's a reciprocal, as long as it's true friendship, true love, there's a reciprocal nature to the energy exchange. You're vibrating at similar or complementary vibrations, and your souls are naturally drawn together to learn from one another, to teach, and to understand ourselves in the eyes of another. It's incredibly difficult when we lose someone that we vibe with, that our vibrations complement each other, and in whose eyes we saw our reflection with kindness and love in them and in us. Not recently, but about 2 years ago now, lost a friend who, he was my best friend for about 9 years. And we saw each other every week. But he lost his long battle with depression and sadness and inner pain in a way that I almost did many times in the past years. But when we lose somebody that we're very good friends with, almost like a brother or sister, it's almost like there's a piece of ourself that is removed. There is a mirror in which we saw ourselves through a sentient another. That reflection of ourselves and their existence, there was so much value in it. There was so much oneness that we felt in it. When it is gone, it feels like there's a piece of ourself taken away from ourselves. That somebody just cut off a piece and removed a section of our heart, as it were. Because when we become close to people, no matter what kind of relationship it is, in my case, a very close friendship, when we lose people, we're going to have to find them again at some point. In a future life, if you're really good friends with somebody, or you fall in love with somebody, or you're very close to a parent even, or a family member, there's a tearing that has to come back together in another life. Perhaps in this realm, perhaps in another realm, or perhaps in a life in this realm many lifetimes from now. But after that bond was found once again, after all bonds began, the beginning of the Big Bang of this universe, all the souls that were together and the different sections and groups that you feel more aligned with have to come back together again and again and again. But we feel that tearing anew when we lose somebody that we just feel like we vibe with, that we were very close to. And that ache, that heartache due to grief, it doesn't necessarily go away, but you can recontextualize it as that we will find each other again. In fact, he asked me multiple times, do you think we'll see each other in another life or in the afterlife? And that's one of those signs that when somebody asks you that again and again, you should have seen the signs before. You feel responsible, especially if you were a guide to that person in life, or you feel like you're one of the only friends that person had. There's a sense of failure, of that you dropped the ball, or that you didn't do your duty to your friend or your brother or sister. And that feeling doesn't necessarily go away either, but you can recontextualize it as saying, that means I owe that much more to everyone else that I know, or to humanity in general. And as far as recontextualizing grief, it's almost a relationship with time, because coming back together is inevitable, but there's going to be days and days and days when you miss that person. And like they always say, value the time that you had with them. Reflect back on the time, reflect back on all the good times, all the things you learned together, all the good conversations you had, all the things you experienced together. That's a great tactic. Another one is to feel like they never quite left. And this is true. When you feel like a piece of yourself is taken away, when that person is no longer in your life, there's a residual energy that is left after that piece of your heart is taken. There is residual energy where there's a piece of that person that still remains within you. It's hard to explain, but our energy bodies are composed of so many different elements, so many different kinds of energy. But when you become close to somebody, very good friends, or some other kind of relationship, any kind of lack, any kind of loss that you feel, their energy has been placed there in a very subtle way and never leaves your astral heart, as it were. That will be there always. And that ache is that piece of their energy wanting to reunite. And it will eventually. But understand that a piece of them is within you and will always be within you. That is a true context. It's not just trying to make yourself feel better, though it should make you feel better. And very sad at the same time. But sadness and grief, they're a huge part of life. And, you know, there's that old cliche, you know, can't have the bad with the good, and the bad makes the good that much more transparent, that much more emblazoned on the experience of life. The Divine Mother Kali holds a head and a bowl of blood. The bowl of blood is often seen as representing the blood of the demon Rakthabija. But the bowl of blood also represents something else. And that head that she holds also represents something else. That is your head. And that bowl of blood is all the grief, all the pain that you will experience or are experiencing. The Divine Mother presents to you the bowl of blood. And we can shy away from grief. We can shy away from sadness and depression. We can shy away from all the bad sides to life, all the painful sides of life. We can avoid them mentally, or we can meet them and drink that bowl of blood in fullness. Drink all of that blood of grief, of sadness, everything that we don't like. When she hands you that bowl of blood, no matter what you experience in life, whenever the Divine Mother hands you that bowl of blood, says, what are you going to do? Experience grief, experience sadness. Don't run from it mentally. Don't not resolve it. And try to enjoy even the worst suffering that you experience in life. Not to cause it again, but to understand it and experience it as an extension of life, rather than something that is, okay, well, we just got to put up with the bad. All of the experience in life is the same data. How we look at it and how bravely we meet it is our decision. What happens is not necessarily our decision. But choosing to drink that bowl of blood in its entirety and face it and even kind of love it, maybe not decide to add to the suffering, but even try to enjoy your own suffering. Look at it, use it, even channel it into other things in your life. Art, your drive to do better, your sense of self. Make that sense of self and your understanding stronger as you drink that bowl of blood that is grief, that is sadness, that is suffering. Drink that bowl of blood that the Divine Mother Kali is handing you in its entirety. Because if everything is God, and if everything is the Divine Mother, then she's also the pain. She's also the pain that we are going to experience, but she never gives you more pain than you can take. This world is not meant here to break us, but to make us, to allow us to evolve past all the challenges that we meet and become better for it, to realize ourselves through it and who we are through it. Not going around the obstacle, going through the obstacle. The only way is through. So drink that bowl of blood. It's supposed to make you better. It should fill you with a new sense of purpose and a new sense of self-worth. That's what it means when the Divine Mother hands you that bowl. Grief is not going to be easy. It's going to be hard to recontextualize everything and to get yourself into a place where you can even enjoy the bad in life, to where you can not necessarily blame a devil, but understand that the oneness that everything's a part of is doing this to you, but you don't have to hate it. And it's not meant to break you. The grief will be painful. it will be hard getting to a place where you can do this, but it's how best to deal with this. Because we're gonna have people, we have people in our lives that we value. We're gonna have more people that we value, and we've had people that we value, and we experience ourselves through them, and they experience themselves through us. That's a part of the process. That's a part of becoming, of revealing ourselves, of through collaboration and through friendship, through kindness. It uncovers a piece of our soul that we didn't know that was there, but we feel it through other people and with other people. But because we experience ourselves through others, and because having friends is important, because having loved ones is important, the world also hands us them gone and them going. So we can't avoid this. And it is said that a philosopher once said that it is he who delights in solitude is either a beast or a god. The vast majority of us are not beasts. The vast majority of us are not gods. We're right there in the middle. So we're going to have people in our lives, and we need people in our lives. So how we deal with losing them is a part of the whole experience. Don't run from it. Accept it. Don't be too hard on yourself at first. Gradually work yourself in a place where you can have this mindset, where you can accept it. Slowly, and eventually, you'll get there. At any rate, I hope this is helpful. I hope this is useful. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like this video, it helps out the channel. Comments also help out the channel a lot. At any rate, thank you very much for watching. I hope you're doing okay, and I want all of you to have a wonderful day.